bookmarks and brush pens, and welcome to my very first YouTube video. I apologize in advance. I am actually getting over a cold, but I was really excited about filming this video, so I decided to just go ahead and do it, and you will hear my non-stuffed up voice in later videos. So my first video is going to be a flip through of my current journal. This is Jane. She is a Leuchtturm 1917, medium sized in a dot grid. So let's go ahead and jump in. So all Leuchtturm notebooks have the table of contents. I just put the date of the month it was, the day of the week, and what page that journal entry started on, so if I wanted to go back and read a particular day, I could find it pretty easily. Alright, so I started this journal on the 27th of August. This little currently card is an idea I got from A Tiny Ray of Sunshine, who is a bullet journalist. I really like this, and I'm planning on doing this on the first page of all my future journals. So this page and most of the pages close to this one were written with a TWSBI Eco in extra fine. I actually have two of these, so sometimes I bounce back and forth between using the two of them, and this ink is Diatramentis Pine Green. Alright, so a lot of these pages are just writing, so I'll flip through those pretty quickly. This is the Hungarian coat of arms. I drew this before I went to Hungary. That's part of my plane ticket for that trip. And these are some pictures I took during that trip, and these are printed using my Fujifilm Instax Share printer. I really like this. This was a birthday present, and I use this a lot for journaling. Alright, let's see, still a TWSBI Eco. Sometimes when I'm close to the bottom of a page and I finish my entry, I don't want to start my new entry with only a couple of lines left, so to fill up some space I'll put some washi tape or something else, so you see this quite a bit. Alright. So the journaling prompts I use are ones by Journaling Junkie, and I will link them. I generally put them in my journal so I can just flip to that page when I'm starting a new entry for the day, but I did this when I was halfway through September already, so that's why the whole thing isn't in here. So I think around this time I was having a little bit of trouble with the nib on my Eco, so that's why some of this writing is a little bit thicker. And then I was doing some tuning, so I got it back down to where I like it. This was my first ink switchover in this journal. This ink is Diamine Ancient Copper. I got this ink for fall because this color reminds me a lot of fall, and I use it a lot during September and October. And this is still written with a TWSBI Eco. This was a journaling prompt, characters that I adore. I love all of these characters. These are mostly from movies and TV shows. Journaling prompt, reading habits. I read everything all the time. I'm generally reading multiple books at once. Let's see. This is still a TWSBI Eco and Ancient Copper. Alright. So these are the October journaling prompts. What I do is if I actually get to writing it out at the first of the month, I write out everything, and then in pencil I put some ideas I have for what I'd like to write about, or what my more creative aspect might be. And I drew a little pumpkin. Let's see. So I'd gotten my typewriter recently, so I decided to do some typing on it, and then just went ahead and tipped this page in with some washi tape. This quotation is from a song by Bastille. It was written with a small brush pen with my Pentel Sign pen, I believe. This has a flexible brush tip, and I really enjoy using that. Alright, so this is one of my favorite pages in this journal. This is the Ravenclaw crest, obviously, from the Hogwarts house. I traced this in pencil first, and then I inked over it, probably with my Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen, because it has a nice amount of ink. I really like those. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see. So, still the ancient copper. So here I decided to experiment with some different inks and some different pens. I'd just gotten an ink sample collection from Goulet. I believe this one is called Hallowed Halls. So this was written with my Lamy Safari with a fine nib. The nib I have in here right now is actually extra fine. But this was a fine nib, and it is written with Diatramentis Atlantic Blue. This, I believe, was written with my Kaweco, which is this little pen. This pen is also in an extra fine. But this ink is Faber-Castell Stone Gray. This ink is Faber-Castell Moss Green. This green reminds me of Slytherin a lot. It's not really a green I would write with, but I think it's still a fairly pretty color. So then after I tested a little bit, I went back to the Ancient Copper because I was still in October. I don't really like switching inks all that much, and I don't really like doing it on the same page, but I did that for here because I was testing out different inks and different pens. Alright. So this I did with some watercolor, probably with my Sakura Koi watercolors. I'm still learning how to watercolor, but I really enjoy doing it, and I like this page a lot. So this is where I switch over inks. This is actually one of my favorite inks. This is Diamine Graphite, and it's the only ink I bought from the sample collection that I got. And at this point, I believe I was writing with my Pilot Metropolitan in fine. This pen I really like. It's a really nice little pen. Let's see. This was a journaling prompt. I believe it had something to do with bad boys, so I picked out some of my favorite bad boys, mostly in classic literature, but, you know, Loki. I'm a Marvel fan. Superhero geek, there you go. But Mr. Thornton, North and South, Mr. Rochester, Jane Eyre, Mr. Darcy, Pride and Prejudice. Let's see. And my journal, Jane, is actually named after Jane Eyre from Jane Eyre. Alright. So these are my November prompts. I thought I'd throw in a little bit of leaves. So I did this with the October prompts too. I meant to cross off every prompt that I'd written about or posted. And obviously I wrote about a lot of these prompts. I think I just ended up forgetting to cross them off. Yeah, deadlines. I very rarely make deadlines, if I'm being totally honest. One thing I really enjoy about the dot grid is that I can easily switch up the angles I'm writing at. It's the only time I've done so in this journal thus far, but I like it a lot. And these were written with my Tombow dual brush pens. They have a brush tip and also a bullet tip. I like these pens a lot. They're very good for blending colors, which is kind of what I did here. I would highly recommend these if you're getting into brush lettering. Alright, so moving on. So this is a ticket stub. I went to see the Skints in Sublime with Rome. I really went to see the Skints because they're one of my favorite bands, but I also really liked Sublime with Rome. And let's see, so then this was Election Day in the US, presidential, and then some other races as well, and I voted in that, obviously. I got my hair dyed around this point, and I really, really liked the color, so I just stuck in a photo of that along with the business card of my hairstylist, who I think is just an awesome lady. How to stop procrastinating. I have no idea how to stop procrastinating, I'm not gonna lie. I'm flipping through some of these pretty fast because they're already on my Tumblr page, so you can go and check them out there if you wanted a longer look at them. Let's see. So some more writing. This is a stamp that I got from Michaels. I actually don't use stamps all that often. I just pick up the ones that kind of I really like. And I do not use ink pads with my stamps. I instead use brush markers. You can do this because a lot of these are water-based, I believe. So you just sort of brush over the stamp and then it transfers. I think this one was actually done though with some from the Recollections collection from Michaels. These are very similar. They have the brush tip and then the bullet tip. And so I have a set of these and I like these as well. Alright, this I believe was done with the Tombow. Alright, so I'm still just doing some writing. So here I'm still using the Diamine Graphite ink, but I switched up the pens that I was using because I'd just gotten some new pens. This right here was done with my TWSBI 580. This is an extra fine, but it doesn't quite look like an extra fine because it is a completely different nib size. This has a number 6 nib size, and a lot of the other TWSBIs have a number 4. So this, to me, is a little bit too big for the dot grid and the writing I do in my journal, but I still really like the design of this pen, and I like the way it writes, so I use it a lot outside of my journal. But since it didn't quite have the nib size that I wanted, I also ended up ordering the TWSBI Mini, which does have the same nib size as the Eco. This one is in extra fine as well. So these next couple pages are done partly with my 580, partly with the Mini, partly with the Pilot Metropolitan. I had my Mini and the Metropolitan inked up with the same ink color, the Diamine Graphite, so I sort of bounced back and forth between the two. So these are my December prompts. I talk a lot about the X-Files right here. I just started watching it around this time, and I really, really love that show. So this, I was trying out one of my new inks, Diamine Shimmertastic Magical Forest. I used this ink to address my Christmas cards, actually with my hacked Jinhao. This is a Jinhao 450 with a Zebra G flex nib, and I really enjoyed using it for that. And then I believe this is a Kuretake. I probably butchered that pronunciation. I apologize. In metallic gold. I usually don't like bright colors, but I kind of have a thing for metallic gold. I think it's really pretty. So right here, I actually was using one of my other favorite pens. This is a Platinum Mackie-E brush pen that uses fountain pen ink. There's a little bit of a learning curve with this one. It is a synthetic tip, but it does have individual bristles, which the Tombows do not. So took a little bit of work to figure out how to use it, and the fountain pen ink doesn't react quite the same way, but I really enjoy using this pen, and I think this design is just really pretty. Alright. Oh, and this ink is the Diatramentis Pine Green. This is my favorite ink, so a lot of my pens have this ink in it. So these are my two favorite Christmas movies. I watch them every single year. White Christmas and The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. This is a really funny movie, and this is a classic, of course. So this is when I switched pens again. All through this and the rest of the journal, I have just been using my Pilot Vanishing Point, which is my very favorite pen because of this fantastic nib. It is a 14 karat, I believe 14 karat, but I could be wrong, gold nib. It's the first fountain pen I bought with a gold nib. It's an extra fine, and it writes beautifully. I haven't used anything else in my journal since I got this. I think I'm wrong about 14 karat. I'll have to look it up. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. So I can fit a lot of words on the page with this pen, which is why it looks like my entries got shorter, but really I just fit a lot more words in a line. Alright, so this, I was trying out some of my embossing materials. I recently got into embossing. The Most Wonderful Time of the Year is one of my favorite Christmas movies and one of my favorite Christmas songs, so I thought I'd just put that phrase in there. This is actually a joke from the movie The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. This is a paper chase bag. There's actually not any paper chases where I live, but there was one when I was visiting family in Texas. I think I probably didn't want to start an entry on the bottom of this page, so I just took up some space with that. And then this is Christmas Day, so I did a little bit of lettering, and this is some of the wrapping paper that I used to wrap my family's gifts. Normally I wouldn't put this kind of thing in my journal, but I thought this wrapping paper was really pretty, and it's kind of my color scheme, green and metallic gold, so thought I might as well put that in there. Yeah, see, I didn't want to start an entry on the very bottom like this. So this is another journaling junkie prompt. This is an encouraging letter to myself. I just cut down some paper to fit this little envelope. I probably got this at either Michael's or AC Moore. I get a lot of my journaling supplies at one of those two stores. So this is when I was setting up and really using my Hobonichi. So this is cut from one of the little brochures that they come with. I really love that planner. I'll probably do some videos on that one as well. Movie ticket stub from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I know, as a massive Harry Potter fan, I saw this movie way too late, but I really enjoyed the movie. So originally I had some New Year's Day lettering on here, and I hated the way it turned out, so I decided I was just going to throw some scrapbooking paper on it. And then I thought it kind of looked like a vintage book cover, so I did some embossing on the front to just put 2017, a novel, and this is the book cover to my new year, kind of. So, January, this ink is Diatramentis Pine Green, by the way. It works really well in the Pilot Vanishing Point. This was a journaling junkie prompt. Currently obsessed with Fantastic Beasts. I love this movie. I really like all of these characters. This was actually written with my newest fountain pen acquisition. Let's see. This is a Pilot Falcon with a soft, extra fine nib. So this nib works similarly to the way flex nibs do. The tines separate when you press down on the downstrokes. It doesn't work exactly the way flex nibs do because they do not make modern pens with the similarly flexible nibs. You have to go vintage if you want something that's going to work the same way dip pens do. But it works moderately well. I think you get some nice line variation, and it will wear in with me a little bit and make it a little bit easier to use. But I'm enjoying practicing with it a lot. So this I put in kind of the same way I did the other picture with some photo squares. I probably got these at maybe AC Moore or Michael's. I just really liked this artwork, and it kind of inspired me to do my writing that day. This is by J. Patty, I believe, on Tumblr. I really like her style and her artwork. This was commissioned by someone else, but I think I'm probably going to commission something from her soon. My only regret is this is kind of exactly what I would have commissioned. I don't have a cat, but I like it in there. But I really want to support her as an artist because I really love her artwork, so I think I'm going to commission something by her pretty soon. And that is as far as I have gotten in this journal. Today I'll probably be putting in some lettering to pay homage to Alex Ovechkin. If you didn't already know from my Tumblr page, I'm a massive hockey fan. The Washington Capitals are my team, and yesterday our captain scored his 1,000th and 1,001 career points. So I'm probably going to do some lettering about that. I am about halfway through this notebook, and I'm really enjoying using it and the dot grid. This paper is very good for fountain pens. So yeah, and that is pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I'll be coming out with some new videos shortly. My next few videos will be on fountain pens, how to use them, the basics, how to take care of them, where to get them, and also my collection. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.